Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary and I am so excited for you guys to be here with me for this video. We are doing our current favorites from the $100 to $150 category of my brand new face videos. Now I did a 99 and under when I was working through that category, so if you want to check that out, I will leave it linked down below and at the end of the video here as well. But I thought it would be time to put out my $100 to $150 category. Now, we are nowhere near done with that category. There are so many makeup brands within the $150 category, but I wanted to show you guys my current favorites, and I'm anticipating on making at least one, maybe two, maybe three more videos like this because there's just so many brands in this category. So if you want to see more videos like this, give the video a big thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I can know to keep in mind that for a future video. So let's dive in. I am so excited. The look that I've created today is using all of these products, and then also I recorded yesterday. I recorded another look using these products as well. I had anticipated on recording this video yesterday with that footage, and I had to stop recording to go pick up my dog. He had a vet appointment and I had to go pick him up and take care of him. So we are now resuming on this, and it gave me an opportunity to use these products twice. So I have two examples of using these products for you. I will be inserting the footage from yesterday's look into this video of applying the products and talking about it, but we've got a bonus of being able to use the products here again. The other thing is this is being recorded during Valentine's weekend. This will likely post several weeks after Valentine's Day, but this is inspired by Valentine's, these reddish kind of pinky colors, so you might on Instagram get a little bit of a spoiler of this look. And I'm loving today's look. I loved yesterday's look. So let's just start talking about the products. Okay, so typically when I do my brand new face videos, I start with my eyes, but when I'm just kind of doing my makeup for fun, for every day, whatever, I oftentimes will start with the face. So we started with the face and we used our primers. And yesterday's look, we used both primers. I started with the Almay Skin Perfecting Comfort Care Primer. This is so nice. It does a really good job of smoothing the face. It doesn't like fully eliminate pores, but it does a really good job blurring and smoothing out your base so that your foundation goes on top just so much nicer. But the additional benefit of it is that it is slightly tacky. That is the big thing that I love about it, because I love having a tacky base that I know that my foundation is gonna sit on top really nicely. So I have been loving this product since getting it. It feels great on the face. Almay, their brand is so skincare, kind of like just skin-minded. Like if it's a product for your eyes, it's care for the eyes. If it's a product for your skin, it's care for the skin. If it's a product for your lips, care for the lips, the whole thing. So it's got good skin benefits to it, but then also at the same time, it's just a great working product. So I have been loving this so much. And then for yesterday's look, not today's, but yesterday's look, I also added on the Revlon Prime Plus Brightening and Skin Tone Evening Makeup Skincare product. This one is also skincare thought. There's a lot of thought when it comes to skincare for this one, so bonuses right there. But this is a more glowy primer. It's got vitamin E and vitamin C in it, and it's, does it say what it is in there? It's got this golden kind of flex to it. And when using it yesterday, I only applied it kind of on the perimeters of the face. I didn't do too much in the center. I didn't want that to become over glowy or emphasize that too much in that area, but I used it on the perimeters. and it just, ugh. These glowy, more glowy golden primers have been starting to become more popular. There's a Maybelline one that I think I've used in a video here. Charlotte Tilbury has a very popular glowy primer. These types of things have just been starting to become very popular, and I've been really enjoying this one, so love that. And then we hopped into the foundation. For foundation, yesterday for the previous look that we created, I used the Catrice Cosmetics HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. Now, this shade is a little too dark, and so I had to blend it out down the neck and everything like that, but it's not overly dark that it's too obvious. It's pretty close, but I love how thin the formula is and just how the finish of it is not too matte. It's a very comfortable looking matte. It doesn't look drying or anything like that on the face. So with it being such a light formula and feeling very lightweight on the skin and just the type of finish and laydown that it has, I've been loving using this. And then typically I'll just try to use a brighter concealer to kind of even things out and brighten the skin out where I need it to. So this is what we used yesterday. I've been using this so often and I've been loving it. I'm so eager to try the new Catrice foundation. I haven't gotten around to picking that up, but I've been hearing great things about that. And if this is so good, I have to imagine that that one is super amazing as well. So Catrice, awesome job. The other foundation that I've been loving that I used on the face today, which is a lot better of a shade match, is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic, their Velvet Matte Foundation. This one is a little bit more full coverage, a little heavier, I would say, looking on the face, and a lot more matte looking on the face. But still, it does not emphasize any like dry areas or things like that. I used today, when applying it, I used my Tati blender to get it applied really quick all over the face, which it does streak at first, but then going over with it with a blender to kind of smooth all that out, it just smooths down really nicely, and I love the coverage that this gives. It didn't quite get this stubborn guy down here, but it overall, everything else on the face, it covered really nicely. So I've definitely been enjoying this one for those more full coverage days. Then we went ahead and we concealed, and the two concealers that I've been loving, they're very similar to each other, honestly. The first one is the CoverGirl TruBlend Undercover Concealer right here. And the other one is also Juvia's Place. I think it's the I Am Magic Concealer. Again, these are very similar, both full coverage. I just so happen to have the CoverGirl one in a slightly lighter shade, and the Juvia's Place one is a little bit darker. So I used the Juvia's one a little bit more all over the face to spot correct any blemishes or anything like that, and used the CoverGirl one under the eyes in the center of the face to do a little bit more brightening. And I love the large applicators that they have. I love the coverage that they have. They're not cakey and creasy or anything like that. They're great eye bases, and I've just haven't been non-stop reaching for these guys. This is the first time I use them in combination with each other. Typically it's like one day I'll grab this one and one day I'll grab this one. But because we're making this video, I had to use them in combination with each other, and it's so crazy to see how similar they are and realize why you like the product so much. So these have been amazing. Then we went ahead and we set the face. Now for setting powders, I only had one, and I'm not gonna lie, before doing this video, I hadn't actually been reaching for this one as much, but because it was really the only powder that I had held onto that was kind of in this $150 category, I grabbed it and I used it, and actually, I think I need to be using it more. It is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Setting Powder in their shade White Sand. I think that I was hesitating on using this. It wasn't labeled as a translucent powder, and sometimes I'm hesitant to grab for those in case they're gonna change the color of the foundation that's underneath, but this one has not. And with the Almay primer being slightly tacky, this sets it down really, really nicely. There's just a very, very slight, you can slightly feel it, but it's in a comfortable way. It feels like it's not, the makeup's not gonna move, but it's not overly dried and packed down and crunchy or anything like that. It's a very comfortable feel. So when grabbing this for the video, I wasn't sure what to think of it, but honestly, from using it yesterday and today, this is definitely gonna become more of a favorite that I'm gonna be grabbing more often. So that is super duper exciting. Then we hopped on into the brows. And I've talked about my typical brow process before. Now, I feel like I'm still trying to figure it out, but I've gotten kind of happy and comfortable somewhat with the brow process here. And I try to kind of go for that more fluffy, slightly bold, but more fluffy brow. And so the first thing I typically do is I will reach for a clear brow gel. And so I have been using the Almay, their clear brow styler first. So we go into this first and I comb the brow hairs down slightly and then I comb them back up so that they're fully coated and we get them into that fluffy position. And this does a very good job of holding the brow hairs in place, but it does it in such a comfortable way. Typically, I really like to look for a brow gel that's gonna like it's gonna feel hard and firm and in place. And this keeps them in place, but not in that overly crunchy way, which I think is very, very amazing. I still, just for like knowing that a product isn't gonna move around, I like that feeling. So it's a little odd not feeling that with this one, but anytime I go and I look at the brows and I see that the brow hairs are staying in place, I'm like, that's amazing. That's super awesome. So using this in the brows first to get the brow hairs in place has been working super duper well. And then I had two brow pencils. The one that we used in yesterday's look was the CoverGirl Ultra Fine Brow Pencil, and I have the shade Soft Blonde. And this is a micro pencil. You guys know that I love the micro pencils. I just like the more brow-like hairs that you can get with it. I just feel I have better control, don't go overboard with it. And of course it has a spoolie at the end that is always such a nice thing. So this was the next product that we put in and just kind of filled in any sparse areas and anything like that and created our shape. And then for today's look, we used the Almay brow pencil. Now this is a thicker brow pencil, but if you watched my Almay video, I talked about in there, just the formula is that nice kind of like powdery formula. Brow products seem to either be kind of more on a waxy side or a powdery side. And I find this one to be kind of that powdery formula, and it is a little bit more foolproof. I would say that if you go a little too heavy in like the front areas that you maybe don't want to be too dramatic or too dark or anything like that, you can take the spoolie that's on the other side there and just comb through it slightly and it'll start to soften the product so nicely. With a wax product, I find that to be a little bit trickier. The product doesn't move around as nicely. It kind of stays in place. So I've been loving the formula of this Almay one. It fills in really quick with the larger applicator. It doesn't quite give those brow-like hairs when using it, but it does still give, it's what we use today, it does still give you a nice bold brow, and I've been loving it. So these two pencils have been amazing. And then we use one more product on the brows, which is another brow gel, but this brow gel is a tinted brow gel, and I have the CoverGirl Easy Breezy Brow. And I like to put this in just as a last step in case there are any areas that may have possibly got missed, and just coat the brow hairs one last time to keep them in place. I guess I don't fully know, but I've just been enjoying that process so much. There's It's just like that last step of putting in a tinted brow gel, and I've just been loving the effect, and the CoverGirl one has been doing a very, very good job. So awesome, awesome. Next, I went into the eyes, and I have 3 eyeshadow palettes that we used. I used all 3 of them on my eyes here today, and also all 3 on my eyes yesterday as well. The first one is the LA Girls Keep It Playful, and I've got their pink one here. I think these come in a couple of colors, but this pink one has been a huge, huge favorite of mine. It's just a good, small-sized, easy to travel with every day. The shimmers and the metallics in it are very, very pigmented. The mattes are really nice. You can do such a good matte base with these. This is a go-to palette for me. I love the colors. I love the performance of the formula. It's amazing. And then right next to that one is the Catrice Cosmetics Instabay eyeshadow palette. I feel like I've raved on this one a couple of times in videos. This right here also has such an amazing formula, a good combination of mattes and a lot of shimmery metallics. There's gold in here. So good. When I did the eye look yesterday, I didn't want to do like a full gold look, but I decided to bounce between this gold and the pink. You'll see footage of me showing it off, but between the gold and the pink and the LA Girls shadow, and just very slightly tapping to create just like a little bit of a glittery pinky gold topper. Anytime I pull this palette out, I want to try to use that gold, whether it's to be full intense gold eye or to just tap into it a little bit to create a little gold glitter on the eyes. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And then today we used the reds. I kind of went for like a rustic red with a little bit of like a pinkness to it. We used this guy right here. So good. So good. Been loving this so much. And a more recent favorite of mine has been the Makeup Geek. And I got their set that was like 4 blue eyes. And these formulas might be better than these other 2. All 3 are amazing, but the pigment that comes off of these mattes is so good. Barely tapping in, you can get such a good coverage and good blend with these mattes. And the metallics that we have here up on the top have such a good punch of color. It is so pretty. I've been obsessing over this so much. I've really only used it the one time in the video, one other time after just on my own, and then yesterday and today in combination with the other 2 here. But I get so giddy whenever I pick this up. Similar to when I first got the Catrice one, it's just like I want to find reasons to use this palette because the formula and the pigmentation of it is so amazing. And I cannot wait to pick up more eyeshadows from Makeup Geek because this is so, so nice. Okay, and then we hopped back into the face and we started with bronzer for yesterday's look. Now, when we did our Juvia's Place video, I did not have this product technically yet, but at the time of posting, I believe that they had just launched this. So I picked it up afterwards and I used this in a products from the box video and loved it, and I've been using it since. It is the Juvia's Place Bronzed, and it is their light one, and I like just bouncing back and forth between the 2 of them, using both of them at the exact same time and putting this on the face to bronze. And it's so, ooh, I love the way it bronzes. So this is what we used yesterday, and I believe, I'll have to go and take a look back at the footage. If I did, it'll be in here. I think we may have slightly gone over it yesterday with the Catrice Sun Lovers Glow Bronzer Powder as well. If we didn't, we used it today as well. But before we went into this one today, I used the Revlon SkinLights bronzer. This one, it's so interesting because when you look at it here in the pan, it looks like it's gonna be this dark, creamy, rich, super duper pigmented product, and it's not. And you would think I'd be thrown off by that, be like, oh, this isn't performing as punchy as I thought it was going to be, but I love the buildup of it. I love that you can just take your time to get that where you want it to be. So this is what we used on the face first today, all over to bronze and sculpt a little bit. And then I did want to intensify the glow a little bit, so we did grab that Catrice Sun Lover bronzer as well and just added just a slight bit of gold over top of everything. I haven't really ever been somebody who has loved in the past a glowy bronzer, but this one works in such a beautiful, comfortable way without emphasizing textures or anything like that, that I'll sometimes just add a little bit of it at the end of putting down like a matte bronzer. And I love just the slight little glow that it provides the face. And then we went into highlighter. I did the process a little bit differently today, but yesterday we went into the highlighters, and the first highlighter that we used was the Revlon SkinLights Twilight Gleam highlighter. Now this is a slightly gold highlight, which sometimes on light and fair skin, it can create this odd kind of like cast or shadow, but this one does a really good job of not doing that. It's a beautiful, nice gold that just like is beaming and lays beautifully on the face. And then because I wanted to beam things up a little bit more, the other highlighter that I've been loving is the Revolution Highlighter Reloaded, and this is in their shade Dare to Divulge, and this is so pretty. So we layered that up over top of the Revlon one yesterday. Today I just used it on its own, and it does such a good job. It is nice and punchy, but not overboard either. It looks beautiful and pearly, and I just, I love these products so much. So this has been super duper amazing. And then the blush. I fell in love with a blush combination yesterday while creating this video. The first blush that we went into yesterday and today was the Makeup Geek. I wish I knew the shade of it, being that these are like metal pans and stuff. I don't recall what the name of it was. I'll have to check it online. But this more red blush is so beautiful. Now this is a pigmented blush, so a little bit goes a long way. So for today's look and for yesterday's look, I focused this blush more on the back part of the cheeks, putting the darker color back here and kind of blending it up. And maybe it's something to do with the colors that we chose for the eyes. I'm not entirely sure. It just, it looks so pretty. I didn't ever think I would like a color this deep and so red. I've always loved my like rosy pinks and things like that, but I think I need to get more colors like this. I mean, hopefully they don't replace this Makeup Geeks one, because this one is phenomenal. The brush that I used for today, I just used my bronzer brush for bronzing and blush today. This packed it on super heavy. I just needed one little dot here, one little dot here, and I go back and forth constantly just to get it to soften out, because with a more dense brush, the color is even more pigmented. But I loved putting this in the back. And then for yesterday's look, the combination was so pretty. I think it had to be this one. I think this is the one that I used the most. But the LA Girls Just Blushing Blushes, the one in Just Natural, has been such a favorite of mine. And I decided to use this and blend it more into the fronts of the cheeks. A little bit more of a lighter kind of rosier color to blend into that. I'm gonna be doing this so often from now on. This red and this LA Girls color, I'm taking this everywhere I go now because I was so happy with how it turned out. For today's look, we went ahead and we did the Catrice blush. And it is very pretty. Loving it. Oh, not that one, sorry. Right here. This is the combination I did today. It is very, very pretty. Not loving it as much as yesterday's. I think this product looks a little bit better on its own. This has been such a loved product. This Catrice Nude Peach holds for a very long time. It's like, it claims to be very sportswear, sweat-proof, water-resistant, and everything like that. So the hold for this blush, the longevity, whatever you want to call it, stays on your cheeks for so long. So I've been loving that. So those are the blushes. And next we went into the lips. Now, the lips that came together today, they're not quite the color that I wished that we have with the eyes, but yesterday's look I thought was so fun and so pretty. So the two lip liners that I have been loving, the first one is the Catrice Cosmetics Lip Foundation Pencil, this guy right here, in the shade Caramel Blonde To Go. This is just a very, I'm not good at describing colors. A very beautiful, nice, light, somewhat nude bronzer, somewhat nude lip liner. The thing that I like about this, and again with everything in the Catrice collection, is it's supposed to be long hold, waterproof, sweat-proof, not budging. So when we put it on yesterday, I had put on a lip balm or a lip primer in advance, and it blended on super duper nicely. Today I struggled a little bit. I missed putting on a lip balm. So it doesn't go onto dry lips the best. But if you've got some sort of base, if you've primed your lips in advance, it blends on super duper nicely. So yesterday I just kind of kept this in the center and the little bow of the lips. And then the other lip liner we used, which it seems to be an odd combination, but I really liked how it looked. But it is the Revlon ColorStay Longwear lip liner in the shade Wine. I had focused this liner more on the outer parts to try and create this like ombre of like a deep wine on the outer parts of the lips, going into something a little bit more lighter and neutral towards the center. It was very, very pretty. I want to do the technique again with more matching types of colors in the future, but I loved the shape and kind of the plumpiness that it made my lips look like yesterday. I thought it was really, really pretty, so it was fun to use these in combination. This is a much more creamier lip liner than the Catrice one, and you blend it on a little bit, and it just glides on the lips really, really well. I'm interested to check out more colors from the Revlon line. I love this wine one, but I would love to get more colors as well because the formula is beautiful. And then yesterday we went over the lips with the Almay Lip Vibes lipstick here, and the shade I have is in Go Wild. And this is just like a nice, light, somewhat rosy-ish, I would say, nude. And putting that over kind of just blended all the lip liners and everything together to create this nice ombre look. And I thought the eyes tied in really well, the lips with the cheeks, everything just tied in so well. And I love the way that this lipstick feels on the lips. For today's look, I decided to use the Revlon ColorStay Stay Ink. And I think this is where we mess things up because this is more of a, this is in the shade Partner in Crime. And I think it's just a little too purpley for like the kind of rusticy reds that we've got going on. So I put this on first today and then kind of blotted it off and then went back over with this again today, which helped a little bit, but being that this was still underneath, it's not quite the match that I like, but I do really love how this feels on the lips, how juicy it is on the lips, how well it holds on the lips. I've been falling out of liquid lips recently and really falling and loving the bullet lips more, but this one is still such an amazing product. And then the last lip product that we applied are the Makeup Geek lip glosses. And for yesterday's look, we went into this more nude brown one called Creamsicle Delight. And these are just so beautiful and juicy looking on the lips. It's kind of blotted off my lips here today. I'll reapply a little bit here for today. The one that we used today was the Pink Bubbly. And maybe this is too pink. Let's put the nude one on. Maybe that'll help us out. And now, even though these are like more of a lip gloss, they do still have enough of a pigment to change the lips a little bit. So now the lips are looking just a little less rosy. It's still there, but I do think we just have I think this works a little bit better than what the pink one was looking like, but you can see it is so juicy looking on the lips. And it is a bit heavier, but it's not sticky. It doesn't budge, it's not distracting, it doesn't slip and slide everywhere, and it sits nicely over top of the products underneath. It doesn't smear those around or anything like that. So I love the way this looks, I love the way it feels, and I love it just finishes everything off, and it's so, so pretty. And then we've got one last product, and this has been such a favorite product of mine. It is the Catrice Cosmetics Prime and Fine Setting Spray. I've used so much of this, I'm like over halfway done with it, and it was limited edition. Unless it's still around, they were making a larger bottle of this. If it's still available, I'm for sure picking up the large bottle because this is amazing. Something I had noticed when I was doing my makeup today is my forehead, I'm very expressional with it, and my makeup does just tend to crease there. Something that I'm just used to. I don't fuss with it too much. I'll try to go lighter with my foundations there, but it's just always something that kind of happens. This refreshes that so nicely. When I was applying my makeup, it was very obvious, but when setting the face down with this and then going back over it with either my Tachi blender or a damp sponge and just like pressing the setting spray into the face, it just like, it blurs them. They're still slightly there, but I promise you, not as intense as they were. And this setting spray holds so well all day. It's got such a great hold, and it is a dewy glow fixing spray, it says. I love the finish. I love the slight glow that it puts on the face. I think it is beautiful. So this has been such a favorite of mine. And the last thing as well about it is the sprayer. It is so fine. Like, you don't need to be super close to the face. You can stay back and it'll get a good amount of your face. Does not leave droplets anywhere. And I go quite heavy-handed with this stuff, and I just have been loving it. And I think, I got so excited. I bounced over the mascaras and the eyeliner. So let's wrap back to that real quick. For the eyeliners, I've actually got a lot sitting here in front of me. There was one that I did not use between yesterday and today's look, but let's talk about these two. Well, let's talk about this one here first. The first one is the Makeup Geek pencil liner in navy. I don't use a lot of pencil liners, but when I got this eyeliner in combination with the 4 Blues eyeshadow, I loved the way it looked. So for yesterday's look, we smudged this in the lower outer part of the eye, and I love how it complements my blue eyes. So I've been using this so often. It sits in the waterline very, very nicely, and I love the color. And then the other eyeliner that we used yesterday was the Revlon ColorStay Sharp Line. This formula is so black, it's so matte, and even though the applicator on it is kind of huge, it's very, very flexible. So it's not stiff, it doesn't scratch, the liner lays down really nicely, and it comes to such a tip, it makes it so easy to create winged liner. Now, I am not somebody who is good at winged liner at all. I feel like I've improved, but I'm still working on it. I had realized, I was like, oh, I wanted to wing this out, but I had already put my face products on. This is so easy to use that I got it to work. I had to mess with this eye a little bit yesterday, but I got it to work out. And if you are somebody who is trying to get into liner, winged liner, I would recommend you checking this out because the formula is great, the tip is amazing, and it just makes it so much easier to make those wings. And then I didn't think I was going to use this, but every single time I see this eyeliner, I'm like, oh, I want to use it so bad. And it is the Revolution, what are you called? I don't know its name, but it's this guy. It's this blue metallic eyeliner. This is such a beautiful product. Now, I have laid it over top of the black liner, so it's barely visible in yesterday's look, but it's just so slightly there. And then also in combination with the blue pencil liner that we put on bottom, I think you can see it pulling through a little bit. I thought it looked really cool and really pretty laid over top of the black eyeliner yesterday. But when this is used on its own, it is so beautiful as well. This also lays down really, really nicely. It is metallic, but it's not like distracting or chunky or anything like that. This color is so, so pretty. Maybe it's with the blue eyes thing, but I became obsessed when we used that in the video, and I've been loving using this product. It is so pretty, so beautiful. Loving it so much. And then for today's eyeliner, we used the Rimmel London Scandalize eyeliner. This eyeliner is also very beautiful, matte black, lays down really, really nicely. But the thing I like about it the most is how small the applicator is. Now, it's not the best I have found for creating wings. It seems to dry out kind of quick for that. So when I did my wings today, they're a little shorter. I didn't want to pull them out too much, but I love how thin of a line you can create right above your lashes with it. It's easy to use, and again, the formula is super duper nice. So been loving that. And then the last liner that we didn't use but has been so amazing is the Catrice Liquid Liner Matte. I've used this one a couple of times. I don't use it too often because it is like a dip liner, which those I'm not the most familiar with using, but remembering from my Catrice video, I loved how matte and I loved how black. The applicator on it it's similar to the Revlon where it's large, but it comes to such a nice tip that it is fairly easy to apply a winged liner with it as well. I do need to use this one more often to try to become more comfortable with these types, but every time I have picked it up, even though I'm always worried, it has always worked out and the formula is beautiful. So this Catrice one is amazing. And again, long hold. Everything of Catrice's has been such long hold products. So I love how long it stays on your eyes. And last, we have the mascaras. We'll start with this one first. The first mascara that I've been loving, and I think it's running low, I need to find a new one, is the Catrice Pret et Volume Mascara. This is the one that I used on my eyes today. I don't honestly know if this is sold out. I hope it's not sold out, or maybe not sold in America. I might have ordered it from overseas. I don't know. I'll have to look into that and I can let you guys know in the comments down below. But the thing that I love about this mascara the most is if I either forget to curl or choose not to curl my lashes, which typically I need to, this does such a good job of lifting the lashes, making them look longer because they're sitting up nice and straight. But then in addition, it also coats them very, very nicely and provides a little bit more length as well. So I have been loving this, but I stopped using it kind of recently because for one, started to run low, and I got a new favorite. This has taken over so many of my mascaras, and it is the Revlon So Fierce Mascara. This is the one that I used on my lashes yesterday, and this mascara it kind of gives you that false lash look to your eyes, but also kind of in a chunky way. Whenever I put it on, I'm always like, what is it about this like chunky lash that I like? I don't know, but they become so full, so volumized and chunky, and also nice and lengthened. I think what I love about it is just how noticeable my lashes become. And that's typically not something I see with my teeny tiny baby lashes. And so anytime I'm creating a look, I'm just like, I want to use this. I always want to keep using this because I love how dramatic it makes my lashes look. So this has become such a favorite of mine. So that is all of the products from the $100 to $150 category that I've been loving so far. If you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know. Like the video, leave a comment down below, because I plan on making more of these. There are so many more brands in this $150 category. So leave those comments down below. Let me know if you've got any more brands. I would love to add them to the list of so many brands to create a future brand new face video for you guys. And that is going to be everything for this video. I hope you liked today's look and yesterday's look. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.